So you got a great idea for a comic book. So what does it take to turn that great idea into a script? And then turn that script into the first issue of your comic, then the second issue, then the third issue. What does it take to get to the fourth issue of your comic book? The fifth issue? So what is the secret to get the idea out of your head and into the hands of your fans? The secret is that you have So why do you want to create an independent comic book? Hi, my name is James Nguyen, and I am the creator of Alpha Red. Welcome to the Alpha Red comic channel. Let's go on a journey of how to create an independent comic. The question that you have to answer is why. That's the most important question that you have to answer before you start your journey. Are you doing it for the fame? Are you doing it for the fortune? Do you have the next Ninja Turtles waiting in the wings? Is Hollywood going to be knocking down your door for your comic book? Creating an independent comic book takes a lot of perseverance and tenacity. If you don't know why you're doing it, you'll easily give up. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure you understand your motivation. What is the purpose of you creating your comic? When the going gets tough, you have to go back to that mission statement and you have to say, this is why I can't stop doing what I'm doing. And that's when the perseverance comes, and that's when the tenacity comes. So take the time and figure that out before you put the pencil to the page. Be honest with yourself. In 2001, I created a comic book character called Jonas. Have you ever heard of him? Most people in my family don't remember that he exists. In 2004, I partnered up with a writer and tried a comic called Lost Man. I can't remember what that story is about. I got 4 pages into it and I was done. Also in 2004, I created a comic called The Calling. I got through a whole issue of The Calling, #1, part of a 3-issue miniseries, and it never got past issue #1. In 2005, I quit my job and I started a comic book called Inhabit, a 4-issue miniseries about kids in space. It never got past issue #1. In 2006, I tried partnering with another writer and tried a comic called World at War, where I designed a whole alien race and alien weapons. Never got past the thumbnail. Finally, in 2011, I said, no more games. This is it, creating the one character that I'm going to take all the way. I have a whole miniseries planned out for it, and this was going to be it. This was the story that was going to put me on the map. That story was Wingman. Never got past issue #1. Thankfully, also in 2011, I did a short story for a zombie anthology called Fubar, published by Alterna Comics. For that story, I was partnered up with a writer, and he and I were going to take the world by storm. And that's when we created the character that would eventually become Alpha Red. But Alpha Red fell apart after 16 pages when I didn't know my why. I didn't know the purpose, why I was drawing this comic book. I was having fun, but it really didn't serve a purpose, and it took up a lot of my time. It was something that I had to reevaluate. Was it worth the time that I was spending away from my family, away from my responsibilities? I was on a spiritual journey at the time, and the purpose of having fun and drawing comics was just not doing it for me. So when I approached the writer about a new direction for Alpha Red, where he would take a spiritual journey, the writer graciously bowed out of the story that we were writing. That is when I found my mission and my purpose for creating Alpha Red. So in 2012, the 22-page issue of Alpha Red #1 was printed and sold mostly to my friends and family. But that was the seed that sprouted into the 5-issue miniseries that I have available at Starcross Comics. So when I had writer's block and when I had artist block and I didn't know what to do and I switched jobs, not once, but twice, I stayed with Alpha Red, and slowly but surely, Alpha Red #2 came along, then 3, then 4, and now all 5 issues of Alpha Red are complete. I was able to stick with it and finish the entire story So what is my purpose? My purpose is to use my talents to glorify God. Matthew chapter 25 verses 14 through 30 tell a parable about talents that are used for the glory of God and talents that are wasted by being buried. And I don't want to bury my talent. Creating independent comics is a grind. It is not for the faint of heart, but it is very satisfying. I'm not doing it for the fame, definitely not doing it for the money, but I definitely feel called to create Alpha Red. Your purpose doesn't have to be a higher calling, but it has to be something that you can go back to time and time again that re-energizes and re-motivates you to get the job done. Comics don't make themselves. I know the feeling of having the restlessness of the story that wants to come out. But if you don't have a purpose, giving up is so much easier. Take some time and figure out why you want to create comic books. I hope you found that useful. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe for more insight on what it takes to create independent comics. Thanks for watching. Grace and peace. Happy Easter.
And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video.
Make it rain.